My long-suffering husband set about building an enclosure and fenced area for her behind our house. And he spent hours building this beautiful sleeping enclosure for her, 12 by 12, and triple fenced our fencing and got a big gate. And she was happy until 28 days later when she went back into heat, at which point she took the electric fencing by her mouth, ripped it into a million different shreds, tromped down the stock fencing we had, and spent 48 hours on the lam on my property. And we really realized, what are we going to do? We were running out of options. No one would take this pig because every 28 days she became unmanageable, and she was growing. Her 600 pounds soon became 700 pounds. And as much as I love her and loved her, I was really at my wit's end going, I can't have this pig destroying my property and scaring my neighbors. So we were almost ready to just say we've done everything we can and let her go. And we had a couple other leads all the way in Montana and into southern Oregon and northern California, and finally we got the call from the folks at Sanctuary 1 in Oregon, and they said, we'll take her, we're ready for her.
I'm thinking, awesome, finally a chance for a big pig. I've always loved animals, and the chance to bond with a pig, a large pig that people typically eat, was a super opportunity for me.
What she told me is that she made it past the hard part now. She went from that place of knowing that at some point something was going to happen and she was going to be dinner, to knowing that she didn't have to be someone's dinner, and getting past that fear.
So then became the task of, how do we get her there? How do we get a 700-pound pig from Bellingham, Washington to Jacksonville, Oregon? How do we do it? And luckily, the community rallied. We had a donor who rented a really safe stock trailer for us. We had the folks at Vacation Land who gave us the use of the Supernova RV. We had staff volunteer to make the trip. We had volunteers volunteer to make the trip. And so we were all set up to go.
Laura made sure that there was tons of straw in there, lots of padding, a lot of bedding for her. She put one of her shirts in there so she would have her scent.
And we loaded her up, and she loaded like a champ into that stock trailer, and I got a little emotional when I had to say goodbye to her, but knowing that it was going to be such a great home for her. And then she drove down the road to Oregon. It was just really great to be able to make a difference for her and know that she's happy now. It's just a really, I mean, it's only one pig and it's one animal at a time, which is what I always say here to the staff and volunteers, is we can help them one animal at a time. And knowing that we helped this one animal, it really made me feel good about what we do and the fact that the Whatcom Humane Society doesn't turn animals away. We didn't turn our back on this animal, that her lot in life was to be bacon.
We backed the trailer up to the barn, made sure it was set up, everything was secure, and offloaded her, and she's been there ever since.